Our 6-hour course on expanding consciousness is given the unique designation of Double Zero since it provides the essential groundwork for the further evolution of human consciousness. At the start of this course, I'll show you a colorful image of space-time with the waves and particles and the forces and forms which make up our universe. I'll then provide a big picture view of an organization, which includes both its formal and informal systems. An underlying theme in all our online courses is that we must become more aware of our surrounding systems so we can transform them to actively encourage the evolution of consciousness. Early on in the course, I'll summarize the TKI conflict model so you'll know how the 5 conflict modes, including the 3 diagonal dimensions, can be used to resolve your 4 foundational inner conflicts, which I'll be covering in a later section. Because of this background material on the TKI, you don't have to take any of our TKI-based courses or know your TKI results before you can fully benefit from the Expanding Consciousness course. I then explore the evolution of consciousness, which begins with the Big Bang about 14 billion years ago, and then proceeds with one major revolution after another until the present time. By charting the time between all the major revolutions in human society, we'll see that the occurrence of these paradigm shifts has been accelerating in the past few hundred years, but especially during the last few decades. As we enter the consciousness revolution, paradigm shifts will be taking place in months, weeks, or even days, when they used to take hundreds of years, such as the shift from the Industrial Revolution to the Information Revolution. We'll also explore a similar shift in what people have been asked to bring into the workplace, which began when organizations expected people to use only their manual skills on the job, as in hands for hire, and thus leave all their other skills and capabilities at home. But with the advent of the consciousness revolution, organizations will be expecting people to bring all their mind, body, spirit consciousness into the workplace. From there, I discuss what it means for people to actively participate in further expanding their consciousness. After I list the number of mind, body, spirit modalities for doing just that, I'll share some of my own very personal experiences in using one of the most revolutionary approaches for expanding consciousness, a modality that's far beyond talk therapy for the mind, yoga for the body, and meditation for the spirit. By sharing my personal experiences with Stan Grof's holotropic breathwork, you'll get a much better idea of how expanding your consciousness will enable you to live a much larger life, and as a result, you'll be able to bring a much larger you, including your expanded wisdom and experience, into the workplace. Next, I review a few different efforts to capture the particular stages through which a person's consciousness develops and expands. Reviewing 4 such stage models will be sufficient to reveal their overlap. It seems that scholars and practitioners have discovered the same basic progression of consciousness, even if they focus on different aspects of human behavior, such as the development of cognitive and moral perspectives, the expression of emotional energies, and various approaches to healing and becoming whole. One common theme, for example, is the importance of becoming more aware of the waves of subtle energy that exist both inside and outside all living beings. These waves of subtle energy provide the medium for the expression of human consciousness. I then move on to the heart of the course, which is when I'll help you explore the 4 foundational conflicts that emerge during the progression of one stage of consciousness to another. I'll address each foundational conflict, one by one, making use of the TKI conflict model. Are you a physical body or an energy body? What governs your life, your ego or your soul? Is your inner self separate from your systems, or Are your surrounding systems an important part of who you are? And lastly, building on your expanded self based on how you've resolved the first three foundational conflicts. Can you now heal your primal relationships? Or are you doomed to squander your unique gifts because your energy and focus are being drained and distracted by those old wounds from the past that have never healed? A most important aspect of this course is how you can transform each either-or question, which forces you to choose one quality or the other, into a new perspective that allows you to integrate your ego, your soul, and your surrounding systems into a whole person. It doesn't have to be either-or. You can integrate both extremes on every one of the four foundational conflicts. I then make use of all the foregoing material and see how we can bring greater consciousness into all our surrounding systems. In this section, I'll say more about an integrated program of 8 tracks that can raise the self-aware consciousness of all organizational members, which is far more effective in spreading the consciousness revolution across the globe, rather than expecting each member in society to participate in mind, body, spirit modalities all on his own, without any support from a peer group or from the surrounding systems. I'll again use the TKI conflict model to highlight 2 dueling systems of organization, which then allow us to consider how to integrate these 2 extremes into a new system of organization, which allows members to satisfy their ego's desires while they fulfill their soul's purpose, all within a synergized physical energy body. And if members have also been able to resolve their 4th foundational conflict, their primal relationships, then members can use all their available energy, wisdom, talent, and consciousness to collectively resolve all their organization's challenging problems and conflicts. It doesn't get any better than that. You'll have access to my 45-minute keynote address to the 2013 Global Speaker Summit in Vancouver, Canada, which was titled Actively Participating in the Consciousness Revolution That's Sweeping the Globe. This live presentation before a large audience provides a nice overview of the Expanding Consciousness course.